Hello. Lots to get through in this 10-day trend, including mentions of typhoons and hurricanes and a warm spell heading for the UK early next week. Before that, though, the first half of this 10-day trend, we're into a more classic north-south split, with northern parts of Britain seeing bouts of strong and gusty winds and a fair bit of rain around too, particularly so in western Scotland this weekend. Meanwhile, further south, it's looking largely dry even into the early part of next week, and we should see some spells of sunshine as well. And then into next week, well, we'll see temperatures starting to rise across the UK. A warm spell on the way. Monday and Tuesday likely to see the peak of the high temperatures, unusually high for the time of year. Staying largely dry into the middle of next week, and then towards the end of next week, uncertainty increases, as we'll see in just a moment. First of all, though, let's go back to the first half of this 10-day trend, the rest of this week and into the weekend. And the pressure sequence really tells the story. High pressure sitting out west initially, but this low pressure heading across Iceland, and this weather front in particular driving south. The isobars squeezing together. That's why it's going to be windy over northern Britain. And then another low follows on, and there's another one behind that for Saturday and Sunday, all barreling into parts of Scotland in particular. So it looks very wet across western Scotland. Meanwhile, further south, the high pressure has shifted from here to here, but it is still dominating across the south, hence little rain expected across the south. And that is shown quite nicely by this map, actually. This is the rainfall accumulations through the weekend that we're expecting, where you can see green, we're not expecting any rainfall. So a dry weekend over the Midlands, eastern England, even further west across the south, just a bit of drizzle over the hills at times for Wales and southwest England. But much, much wetter further north, northwest England, Northern Ireland, and especially Scotland. And those purple colours there across the Highlands indicating that we could easily see 100 millimetres of rain. Some spots maybe 150 millimetres of rain. So that is a cause for concern, just something we're keeping a very close eye on. But that contrast in fortunes really evident there over the weekend. Why so wet and windy over northern Scotland? Well, we've seen the low pressure systems. What's behind that? Well, you can probably make a good guess. It's the old jet stream high up in the atmosphere, this ribbon or river of fast-moving air that's just sitting in this kind of classic position, barreling across the Atlantic, taking low-pressure systems with it. And it's sitting across the northern half of the UK through Friday, Saturday and into Sunday. But as we go into Sunday, notice it is starting to just edge even further north and away from mainland Scotland. And that is signs of a shift which will allow a rise in temperatures into the early part of next week. Why is it shifting northwards? Well, it's actually what's happening behind me that's key to that, a little buckle in the jet stream. So let's take a closer look at that. As the jet stream drives south in the Atlantic, it pushes it then further north across the UK. And really interesting, this little ripple, this amplification of the jet stream, you can trace that back to what happened a week ago in northern parts of Asia when a typhoon moved further north and interacted with the jet stream. And that sent a little ripple along the jet stream, like giving a skipping rope an extra flick of the wrist. And that ripple has travelled around the globe. It was one of the reasons why Denver saw a big drop in temperatures earlier this week as well. Now it's arriving across the Atlantic, pushing the jet stream further north, and that will then allow warm air to waft up from Spain, across France and towards the UK for Monday and Tuesday. So these southerly winds generated at the surface pushing higher temperatures our way. How warm will it get? Well, still a long way away, but at the moment it does look as if on Monday we could, across parts of the southeast and East Anglia, see temperatures into the mid-20s, 27, 28 is possible. And the peak of the warmth at this stage is expected to be on Tuesday, where again, across parts of the south, we could see highs of 28 or 29 Celsius. Now, not promising crystal clear blue skies. This is almost a week away, but it does look as if much of the UK will notice a jump in temperatures early next week. For the details of this warm spell and whether you're going to see sunny skies or not, well, stay tuned to the forecast. But yes, we are expecting things to really warm up for the early part of next week. Beyond that, well, it looks as if we'll see the warmth disappearing, but we could hang on to dry and fine weather. This is a chart for the middle of next week. The UK's changed colour because all the warm air is, by this stage, by Wednesday and Thursday being shifted into the near continent. So the warmth disappears, but notice there is a ridge here in the isobars, so that ridge of high pressure will probably keep things largely dry through the middle of next week, and a decent chance of hanging on to some sunshine as well. But it won't be quite so warm through the middle of next week. And beyond that, well, that's where the uncertainty just starts to go up a notch. The reason behind that, well, let's take a look at this chart, but on a wider view. This is the European model projection for early part of Thursday next week. So there's the UK looking cooler with the ridge of high pressure, but the wider scene across the Atlantic shows two areas of low pressure. And these are not just ordinary areas of low pressure, tropical areas of low pressure. The Atlantic hurricane season is particularly active this year. We're already up to R. At the time of recording, we're expecting Storm S, which will be Sally, to form. And these remnants of these storms are likely to be milling around through the middle of next week. And so, although not directly impacting the UK, they will be influencing the computer models, adding uncertainty. So that's why through the latter part of next week, there is more uncertainty in the forecast than usual. But we are pretty sure that it's going to get warmer through the start of next week and a largely dry spell through the middle of next week before that uncertainty increases. As I said at the start, lots going on, plenty to keep us interested here at the Met Office. Make sure you stay up to date with the very latest, and the best way to do that, of course, follow us on social media.